Morning, team. I am coming to you here because a number of you have been reporting some issues with the training step after generating all your images. You've created a bunch of circles, squares, and triangles following my instructions, but when you go to actually drag these in to the P5 editor folder, what you're finding is that when you try to do that, there's this error that comes up. And I'll tell you, this is not unexpected. We are trying to upload 300 files to the P5.js editor, which is a really big ask. And then we're actually telling the editor to take all of those files and run code on our computer, which then means that it's actually sending everything back to the web browser. And so there's some extra steps in there, which is why, number one, it doesn't tend to work perfectly, and number two, it takes longer than it should. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you how you can actually download a version of the code that's in the editor and get all of this to just run on your computer. So let's get started. The first thing that we want to do is, I'm assuming you're logged in as yourself, you want to download this project to your computer. It's pretty easy. There it is. And if I go now to my downloads folder, here is a zip file that has the entire project kind of built in. I'm going to click to unzip it, and then I'm going to go into that directory. Now you might be inclined, you see this index.html file. This is the web page itself that you actually want to load. But if you take this file and you load it, it looks like things are going okay, but I'm going to go to Inspect, which lets you see all the things that are happening behind the scenes. And I'm going to look specifically at the console, and it's actually having issues loading those images. The reason it's having those issues is that Chrome has this policy that keeps a web page from loading files on your computer, which is a safety, a thing to keep your computer safe. Ideally, you don't want a web page to be able to access things that are on your computer. And it doesn't matter that this is being loaded from your computer itself. Chrome just says, no, this is a bad policy, we're not going to do this. What we're going to do instead is we're going to load a web server on your computer that then pretends like this is a web page. And just like being able to load images on a normal web page, this page loaded from the server is going to be able to serve those files, and we won't have this policy issue. To do this, we're going to go back out to the downloads folder, and I'm going to open up a terminal window. So we are right now in our personal folder. I'm going to type in the command cd for change directory, and there's a neat little shortcut. I'm going to go to downloads, I'm going to drag this directory in, and it's going to actually get the directory where all of those files are located. So I'm going to change the directory and hit enter. I'm going to enter in a command that's going to load a web server in this directory. So this is a Python script. So we're going to do python -m SimpleHTTPServer 8000. I'll paste this code in so that you don't have to type it in manually. And what this is now going to do, it's going to serve this directory on an IP address at port 8000. You just go localhost 8000. It's going to serve the index file in that directory, and so this is now running on our computer. So check it out, it's pretty cool. And we don't have the same issues that we had before. Now there are a couple other things that we're going to want to do. The first thing is I'm going to open this in an incognito window, because there are some issues that will happen if you don't do that have to do with something called caching. The first thing, we'll open up this web page in an incognito window. So now we're doing this and we're getting an error because it's not able to find any of our images. Now that's actually a good thing because those images are not in that directory. We have to add them. So I'm going to go back to my Finder window. I need to create a folder called training. And I have all of my data here. I need to drag those images into the training folder. Now I'm actually going to do this in a different way. I'm just going to copy them and paste them into that folder. All right, so that's ready to go. We'll go back to our browser, reload, and now we can see that our images are there. The next thing that I ask you to do is, once the images are loaded, to comment out or remove the comment lines so that the training can actually start. I'm going to go back out of the training folder and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I can open up sketch.js in text edit, and so I can change everything in here. And to do this, I'm going to remove these 2 lines. I'm going to hit save, so those changes are saved to the file. Now to do this, I'm actually going to open up a new incognito tab with this change so that the changes are actually reflected in the new page. And now you see this is starting the training process because I have just gotten this to train. And if you get this command asking about multiple files, hit allow, because now this is going to have the 3 files that you need for the next stage of this exploration. The next thing you'll need to do in order to get this to work is to change these names. If you are getting that 1 there, it's because you already have a model file in your downloads directory. So you're going to want to find those and remove them so that you can then rename all 3 files. All right, and so that's it. And now you are ready to upload these 3 files to the updated sketch, the next step in this exercise, and see how well your classifier works. Good luck.